Alright guys, so welcome to this really quick Skydio 2 test, and that test is one of the main things that people requested in the first Skydio 2 review video that I did. So what I'm going to do is just quickly test the range, and the thing about the Skydio is that it doesn't actually have indicators on your screen of how far it's going. It is somewhat frustrating not knowing your height and or your distance, but what I'm going to do is just check it via Google Maps. Right now we're on a rock, and I'm just going to scope later and just see how far it actually went. So for now, as you can see on my screen, I'm just going to go straight towards those lakes and see how far I can get and just see what the range on this thing actually is. I'm going to be holding the boost button the whole time so it's faster, and yeah, let's do it. Alright, so at this point we have lost connection with it, so I'm going to check on the map where the Skydio is, and going to screenshot that, and I'm going to be able to go back and check how far that actually was. I'm going to try that test again and see if we get a similar result. Yeah, for sure this time we're getting some more range. Not exactly sure why, but we're getting significantly further on this one. Connection lost. Alright, so I'm going to go to the map, check the geolocation, and now screenshot that and go back in a little bit and figure out exactly how far that was. Alright, so since we did get different results on that one, I'm going to do one more test and see if anything changes. Keep in mind that this test is a direct line of sight, so there's not any trees or anything in the way. As with any drone, if they're trees, if they're rocks, if they're houses, it's going to be a lower range. But for the purposes of this video, I just wanted to test what the furthest range is, and the way to do that is just doing an open test like this. So for this one, it's still going. It's getting pretty close to where the first one stopped, but the connection still seems to be pretty good. Yep, I am pretty much officially over the lake now. Cool, and so I actually could go further with this. It's just giving me, and I'm trying to push a little bit, it's giving me an indication that I don't have enough battery to get back. I think I'm gonna push it just a little bit further for the sake of the video, see if I can get to the other side of that lake. Okay, I'm safely over the lake for sure, so I'm gonna hit return and bring this drone home. Crossing our fingers that it shows up in a few minutes. We shall see. She did end up just coming out of the darkness and showing up. So I am gonna go back and just compare the actual flight distances and see how far that lake actually is. Alright, so now the second part of this is actually figuring out how far the drone went. Because, like I said, the Skydio doesn't have telemetry at this point to read out the distance and height measurements. So the only way to really figure out how far the drone actually went is to just go to Google Maps and measure the distance. So this is the rock that we were flying from, and what I was doing was flying all the way over here to this lake. So what you can do on Google Maps is just right click, measure distance, and I can just click straight on the reservoir, boom, and it measures the exact distance. So that's 1.08 miles. So that's the distance we were getting. Before, we probably got maybe around here, which is just over half a mile, and then maybe around here, which is closer to a mile, but the furthest distance that we did get was about 1.08 miles. Converted to kilometers, I think that's about 1.6 kilometers. So yeah, that's the range that we were getting. Like I said, there was no obstacles, it was just a straight, clear view. And I think it sort of started going further and further the more tests that I did. I'm not sure exactly why, so it might have gone further if I did another test, but that is the max range that we got for this test. And that is roughly the range you're going to be getting out of the Mavic Air as well. The Mavic 2 can pretty easily do 4 kilometers, if not more. But the Mavic 2 also costs around $1,700, and it's comparing to a $1,150 setup with the controller here. With that said, I rarely need to go this far for shots, even with the Mavic. I was actually pretty pleasantly surprised with this test. Anyways, that's going to do it for this video. If you guys have any questions about anything, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you want me to test next, and I will see you on the next video.